a story for you all. But before I begin, I do want to thank Making Storytellers for having me today, and also Grant's Lounge for hosting this event. Shout out to Mr. Johnny Hollingshed, a fellow storyteller and host of the jam sessions here every Wednesday and Sunday. And while I'm up here, I would like to take a moment to say rest in love to Kenneth Robinson, aka Boo Boo, who was an amazing musician that graced this stage numerous times. May he continue to rest in love. Thank you. So, without further ado, this is a story all about how my life got flipped a little upside down. And I'd like to take 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 minutes to tell you about my patch of history in creating history. So it all starts in the good life city of Albany, Georgia, where my father is over there. Meets my beautiful mother, and they get married, and they have me, of course. So I arrive on the scene. And it's funny that they met at Albany State because I would go on to attend that university myself. And that's where the story kind of takes place. So pretty active at Albany State, cheering, student athlete, student government association, anything you could think of, I had my hand in it. Just ready to get to work, ready to be of service, since that is my passion. And I found my hand to work in the Youth and College Division of the NAACP, the chapter at my university, right? Fun work. NAACP, what is that? I'm sure, I hope most of us, if not all, know what that is. But just in case you don't, it is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, right? Yes, and awesome work in the community. Shout out to them. So, as I was president, had all of my other extracurriculars going around, I decided that going into my junior year, I was going to take a break, right? I mean, what else could I have possibly done but graduate, right? But one thing I'm there for. But decided to take a break, but also in me taking this break, it seems as though I got into other plans. So many other things revving up around me. At the time, there was no community branch for people that lived in the city of Albany to get involved in. It was just the college chapter. And I heard that they were getting ready to recharter it, right? Good for them, right? Because I'm taking a break. I've had enough. So, in that, I'd heard of a program also within the NAACP called Next Gen. And what Next Gen does is basically prepare leaders that are already in the Youth and College Division to matriculate onto the adult branch so we can continue to fight for social justice, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll take some notes, I'll go through this program. That way I'll be equipped, down the line if, I get called to do some leadership stuff again. Well, I didn't know how soon that phone would ring for that call. So, in this process, communities trying to identify people that are going to take up the reins and step up to the plate and help lead this great city, the great city of the good life city of Albany, Georgia, into a new and better direction headed towards social justice, right? And I think they might have been looking for me, but I'm hiding, right? Because I need a break. I need to just focus on myself, or so I thought, and just take a back seat to leadership. Sometimes you have to follow as well as lead. So that's what I'm thinking I'm here to do, right? And it's funny that since my work started at Albany State University, the tagline is a past to cherish and a future to fulfill. I had no idea I'd be fulfilling a future at this period of time in my life. So going into my junior year, everybody's ready, the city's gotten organized, we've got a board of directors for the adult branch, and they're looking for leaders. And I'm like, well, Susie over here, she'd be great. I've worked with her at the college chapter, and I'm sure she'd be able to help out. And they're like, yeah, well, you've got some experience too, don't you? I'm like, oh, kind of, sort of, something like that. And so they're asking me, why don't you come and help us? Why don't you be a part, take a position? And I'm just like, maybe I'll just join and help you guys, because I'm still in my breaking period. I'm not trying to jump right in and do anything. But the call just kept on coming, Leaders in the community would keep asking, who'd be able to lead, who'd be able to help us, join us. And I'd identify other people like, Tommy over there, he's good with finances, he'd be a great, treasurer or something like that. I'm like, yeah, so look at me, waiting for me to step up to the plate, and I'm stepping further and further away. So I didn't even know that in this process that I was being equipped for something that I didn't know God had for me, right? During the summertime, after I've gone through this leadership training program, and I'm trying to keep my ear to the streets about what's going on. I think I attended some meetings that they had and had paid some dues just in case, just make sure that box was checked in case I wanted to jump in and help. So election day comes around, or before election day actually, I got a call from a local pastor who decided, praise God, that he was going to, step up to the plate and run for president, and asked me to run on his ticket for like secretary or something. So I'm like, oh, secretary, I can do that, that's not in the front or anything like that. I'm not going to be calling the shots, so I could still, have my little background role and, still be in this thing for social justice. Yeah! Election day comes, and I step into the building where we're hosting our elections, and the pastor comes up to me and says, so we need you to run for president. Exactly, right? Like, hold on. Like, I agreed to secretary. Like, hold on. I told you I'm trying to take this vaccine here. What are you doing? I'm here to support. You're like, yeah, but you've got so much experience. You've gone to the program, and you help with the college chapter. I mean, so we know you can do this, and just please run. And so I thought about it, and I prayed, and I'm just like, oh God, like, this is not something that I wanted to do. Although yes, I am equipped and I have the tools, but this is supposed to be my following season. And then it hit me, like maybe all of the things that I had been in preparation for was leading me to this moment. And so, after a prayer and the light bulb going off in my head, I said, okay, well maybe this is what I'm here to do. And so they went on ahead and they put me on the ballot. And of course, all of the boxes had been checked. There was nothing stopping me, or if there was anything anybody could say. Like, oh, no, she just walked in here. You can't do that. No, it had already been handled. God had taken care of that. And so I'm sitting down and, waiting for the results to be called. I just started reflecting over everything that I'd been through and experienced leading up to this moment. And then the results came in. By unanimous decision, I have been elected president. And so, momentous occasion, very joyous, and I still have so much pride in having had accomplished that. But it wasn't until after the election, having conversations with my family, when I was told that I had family members. I had a great-grandfather that had been president over a Lamar County branch, and I had no clue, no knowledge of this wasn't anything that circulated at Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything. In that moment, I realized that my steps had been aligned, and that this was by divine order and divine timing for me to also step into this position. And so in that moment, I realized that I had cherished my past and was fulfilling my future in that moment. So that is my bit of history in creating history. Happy Black History Month. Thank you.